Good morning, students. Hope you all enjoyed your learning very well. Today I am going to introduce a new video of Standard 9, Chapter 7, Diversity in Living Organisms. Okay, so in this chapter we will study about diversity in living organisms. So in this video we will study about diversity in plant kingdom. Okay, and 5 kingdom classification of Whitaker also. So now we are starting diversity in living organisms. So first one we will discuss the 5 kingdom classification of Whitaker. Okay, or Whitaker's 5 kingdom classification. So first one, Whitaker classify all the animals, okay, living organisms in a 5 groups: Monera, Protista, fungi, plants and animals. So first we will study about the kingdom Monera. In a kingdom Monera, mostly they are unicellular prokaryotic bacteria. Okay, mostly they are unicellular prokaryotic bacteria. They are autotrophic or heterotrophic in mode of nutrition. Okay, few examples of this Monera kingdom is a bacteria, blue-green algae and cyanobacteria. Okay, the images you can see in the slide also. So this is all about the Monera kingdom. Next one is a kingdom Protista and kingdom fungi. So first we will discuss about the kingdom Protista. In a kingdom Protista, the organisms are unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Okay, but in this organisms or in these kingdoms, the organisms having whip-like flagella or cilia surrounding their body. Okay, their mode of nutrition is a autotrophic or heterotrophic. Okay, and some examples are unicellular algae, protozoas and diatoms. Protozoas like amoeba, paramecium and euglena are the examples of protozoa. So these all are the Protista, belongs to Protista kingdom. Now we are discussing the kingdom fungi, right? The kingdom fungi, in this fungi kingdom, the organisms are heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms. Okay, they are saprophytes. Saprophytes means they depends on decomposed and decay material, living organisms, okay, for their nutrition. So they feed on dead and decaying organisms. That's why known as saprophytes, right? They are also called decomposers. They are also some parasites, right? And some examples of this fungi kingdom are Aspergillus, Penicillium and Agaricus. Agaricus, Aspergillus and Penicillium are the examples of kingdom fungi. Now we move to plant kingdom. Okay, all the plants in this slide we will study about the plant kingdom. Okay, all the plants belongs to this plant kingdom. So first one we will study about this Thallophyta. Okay, that is a Thallophyta. Thallophyta are plants, okay, that are not well differentiated. That body is not well differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Okay, their body is not well differentiated into root, stems and leaves. That's why they are most commonly called algae. They are most commonly called algae. Mostly found predominant aquatic plants. And some examples are Spirogyra, Cladophora, Chara, Eulothrix. Okay, and Alva. These are the examples of the Thallophyta plants. Next we will move to Bryophyta plants. Okay, the Bryophyta plants, so these plants are known as amphibians of the plant kingdom. These plants are known as amphibians of the plants kingdom. Okay, their body is well differentiated into stem and leaf-like structures, but they have no specialized tissues for conduction of water and other substances. That means no xylem and phloem are found. Okay, xylem and phloem are absent. And some examples of these plants are moss, okay, Marchantia, and Phoneria. Rixia. Moss, Rixia, Marchantia are the examples of a Bryophyta. Few examples are you can see in the slide of this. Next one is a Pteridophyta. Okay, the Pteridophyta. Pteridophyta, in this kind of plants, the body of plant is well differentiated into root, stems and leaves. Okay, they have specialized tissues for conduction of water and other substances. Right? Now, some examples of these plants are Marshallea, fern and horsetails. Okay, Marshallea, ferns and horsetails are the examples of the pteridophytes. So now I am going to say you all that, right? Before we move to next slide, some things I want to share with you, that all the plants up till now we have studied, that are Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta, all together known as a cryptogamy. Okay, all together known as a cryptogamy. But about this cryptogamy we will study later on in this video. Next I am going to gymnosperms. Okay, gymnosperms group. So what are the characters of the gymnosperms? So here are some characters of the gymnosperms. The meaning of gymnosperm. The gymno means naked and sperms means seeds. Okay, so the plants who's having naked seeds are known as gymnosperms. Okay, they are mostly corn-bearing plants, reproductive with skulls, called naked seeds. Okay, don't have leaves. They don't have leaves, only needle-like structures. Okay, they are also called evergreen plants and mostly woody plants. You can see in the slide. Okay, there is a cone of pinus. It is a cone of pinus. It looks evergreen throughout the year. Woody plant. Their cones are never going to dead or remains as it is throughout the year. Okay, they are used in a very decorative purposes. So these kinds gymnosperms are, few examples of gymnosperms are pines and dacor, cycas. Pines, dacor and cycas are the examples of the gymnosperms. Okay, so now we move to angiosperms. Angiosperms are mostly flowering plants. Okay, angiosperms are mostly flowering plants. All the plants which bears flowers and fruits, okay, that's all are known as angiosperms. Okay, the plants those having fruits, bear fruits, are known as angiosperms, or they are the well developed plants. Okay, or higher plants in a plant kingdom. Angiosperms are higher plants in a plant kingdom. So two types of angiosperms. Okay, monocots and dicots, but later on we will study about that. Now, what are the features for the angiosperms? Okay, so what is the meaning of angiosperms? So angio means covered and sperma means seeds. So in these plants the seeds are covered with fruits. Okay, that means the seeds are enclosed within the fruit. That's why the plant embryos in seeds having structures called cotyledons. In the plant seeds having the structures are known as cotyledons, right? Cotyledons are also known as seed leaves. Cotyledons are also known as seed leaves, right? And amongst the number of cotyledons, these angiosperms are again divided into two kinds, that are monocots and dicots, right? We will later on study about monocot and dicot in this slide. Now here it is a difference between cryptogamy and phanerogems. Okay, as I have said earlier that all the three classes that are Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta, okay, together known as a cryptogamy. All the divisions Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta together known as a cryptogamy. So what is the cryptogamy? So they have hidden reproductive organs. Okay, they reproduce by forming spores. They have hidden reproductive organs. they are less evolved plants or lower plants. We can say them lower plants. Okay, and mostly Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta are the examples or involved in the cryptogamy. Few examples of cryptogamy are mosses, fern, or all the examples of Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta are cryptogamy. Okay, now what are the phanerogems? Okay, now what are the phanerogems? So the plants which ultimately make seeds. Okay, the plants which ultimately make seeds are known as phanerogems, right? They have embryo along with stored food. They have embryo along with this stored food, or we can say that they can reproduce by forming seeds. Okay, their reproductive organs are exposed. They are higher plants. Okay, which plants are involved in the group phanerogems? So gymnosperms and angiosperms both are involved in this phanerogems, right? Few examples of phanerogems are mango, rose, pine, banyan, or you can see that all the examples of gymnosperms and phanerogems. Okay, gymnosperms and angiosperms are phanerogems. So next, in the next slide, phanerogems, okay, are phanerogems having two divisions, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms. We have looked about that both the classes, right? But angiosperms are again divided into two classes. Okay, on the basis of the number of cotyledons seeds bearing. That means some plants offer angiosperms having single cotyledon, and some plants offer angiosperms bearing two cotyledons. Okay, when you see the seed of wheat, okay, maize and millet, okay, they have a single cotyledon. We cannot divide the seed into two equal parts. That is the seed is made up of only one part, that is a one cotyledon. Okay, and just take a seed of any pulses, gram, green gram, chickpeas, rajma beans, okay, or kidney beans. You can divide that seed into two equal parts. Okay, or when you shell off the outer layer of the seed is, you can find two equal parts inside the seed. That means it having double cotyledons or two cotyledons. So we will see some difference of monocots and the plants which having, or the plants with seeds having only single cotyledon are known as monocots, right? And the plants with seed having it two cotyledons are known as dicots, right? So here we will see some difference between monocots and dicots, right? Chalo, the single cotyledon, that means the plants, monocots having single cotyledon, right? Dicots having two cotyledons. Now, in a monocots, floral parts in threes. In a dicots, floral parts in fours or fives. That means petals are three, okay, and petals are five or more. In case of monocots, when you observe a leaf of monocot, okay, leaf of maize or wheat plant, then you can see parallel venation. That means inside the leaf, the vein of leaf, okay, are parallel to each other. That is known as parallel venation, and that will observed in monocots. In case of dicots, reticulate venation is observed. What is reticulate venation? That means net-like, okay, net-like veins observed in a leaf of a plant. That is known as a reticulate venation. So next one difference is a pollen grains has one pore or furrow. Okay, pollen grains. The pollen grains, that is a male reproductive organ. Okay, pollen grains are male reproductive cell that having one pore or furrow, that means hollow from inside. In case of dicots, pollen grains has three pores or furrows. In this case, pollen grains having three pores or they may be furrow. Chalo, what is the next one difference between the monocots and dicots? The vascular bundles throughout stems, ground tissue. Okay, vascular bundle are found throughout the ground tissues. And in case of dicots, the vascular bundles arranged in a ring. Okay, that means here you can see in the slide. In case of monocots, the vascular bundles scattered throughout the stem. Okay, they are not arranged in a particular manner. In case of dicots, the vascular bundles are arranged in a ring. Okay, now few examples of monocots and dicots. So what are the examples of monocot and dicot? The examples of monocot plants are wheat, maize, millet, jowar, right? And examples of dicot plants are all the pulses like gram, moong, then chickpeas, kidney beans are examples of the dicot plants. Okay, so in this slide we have studied about Whitaker's 5 kingdom classification, that is Monera, Protista, fungi, plants and animals. Okay, we have also seen the plant classification or classification of kingdom plants, that is Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, then after we have learned difference between cryptogamy and phanerogems also. Okay, we have studied difference between monocot and dicot also. Okay, hope you all have understood well by this video. Okay, and have a nice time ahead. I'm going to end this video.